Today we're tying a bucktail jig. It's one of the simplest jigs to tie. I take my orange thread, tie one single knot, and then pull back to take up some of the excess. I do this mainly for my own convenience of getting it to wrap and not uncoil as I try to wrap it. Turn the tag end off, and then I like to put a bed of thread all the way down to where the hook point ends. This gives my head cement a place to bond into the hook with. Now take a little toothpick and put a little bit of head cement on the thread. And that's going to help hold my deer hair in the jig. I take some green bucktail, and I always trim it from the part of the hooks under the tail, leave the outside part with the most buoyancy and lifelike action alone. You want about 2–2.5 inches. And then I continue to wrap. This is sort of a fire tiger color, or it's going to end up being a fire tiger color. If you look, you can close, maybe you can see the cement oozing through the bottom thread, through the top thread, and through all the hair. That's going to give me a really good bonding. Now I put a little chartreuse on it. And give it a good wrap as well. Now at any point this jig is basically done, ready to catch fish, but I like putting chenille on the shank. Gives it a little bit more body, a little bit more buoyancy. And what I do, I'll strip off the chenille and leave just the white thread showing. Gives me a little bit more connected to the jig. And I'll start it right at the very back, where the thread ends at the point of the hook. Get it nice and tight right there. And then I'll wrap my thread back to the head and pull the bobbin off to the right so it's out of my way. Keep the chenille out of the hair. Wind it up a bit so I can get through here easy enough. And you want really tight wraps right next to each other. And just work your way to the front. That's why I'm using the orange thread. If I was just doing a green and chartreuse hair jig, I would have used green or chartreuse thread. Now a few wraps here will help secure the chenille. And now do a snip and just 3 basic wrap the thread, the bobbin through the loop, tighten it down, 3 of these. If I don't wrap it around the eye of the hook. And then snip the thread. And I'll finish off with a little bit of head cement right where the snip was. Kind of help hold that together. And there you go. Chartreuse, green and orange fire tiger, 16th ounce bucktail.